Let's go look at practical applications of the quadratic function. One of the applications that uses quadratics are projectile motion. And if you've taken physics, you've probably seen problems like this. A stone is thrown from a 100-meter cliff at an initial speed of 20 meters per second at an angle 30 degrees to the horizontal. The height of the stone can be modeled by h of t equals negative 4.9 t squared plus 10t plus 100, where h of t is the height in meters and t is time in seconds after the stone is released. Okay, before I even go look at the questions, I'm going to go draw a picture of what all that says. So a stone is thrown from a cliff, right? So here's a cliff, and the stone is thrown like this. Do you see the parabola? It wasn't thrown very hard. All right. With that parabola, there is a vertex up there, right?
That's the maximum height, right?
That's going to be its maximum height. Okay, if I found a vertex is going to be in the form of h comma k, right? The h is the time, because that was your t, and your h of t is your height. Do you agree with that? Your x value is going to be time, your y value is going to be height. What is time measured in, by the way? Seconds. And the height is going to be measured in meters. That's just when we start to put labels on stuff. Okay, the stone is thrown from a 100-meter cliff. So this cliff is 100 meters high. Initial speed from the horizontal. The height of the stone is modeled by. Okay, here we go. Height equals negative 4.9 t squared plus 10t plus 100. It says, part A, determine the time at which the stone will be at its maximum height. So here's the maximum height. Wait a minute, that's the vertex, right?
Yeah.
It's wanting the time of the vertex. That's the x value, yes?
Yeah.
How do we find the x value of a vertex?
Negative b over 2.
X equals negative b over 2a. Well, it's not x here, it is t. What is our A? Negative 4.9. What is our B? And what is our C? So to find the x coordinate of our vertex, I'm going to do negative b over 2a. So negative 10 over 2 times negative 4.9. I have no idea. I'm going to get my calculator out. Negative 10 divided by 2 times negative 4.9 is 1.02. And it's 1.02, give me the label, seconds. Okay, part B says to determine the maximum height. Maximum height is going to be the y value of the vertex. So how do I find that? Y is going to equal negative 4.9 times 1.02 squared plus 10 times 1.02 plus 100. Okay, on my calculator, how did I find the x value? I said 10 divided by 2 times negative 4.9. Sorry, should have been negative 10, right? So negative 10 divided by 2 times negative 4.9. So I got 1.02. I'm going to store that as my x value. Then I'm going to type in the equation negative 4.9 x squared plus 10x plus 100. 105.10.
That's the maximum height?
That is the maximum height.
It only went 5 feet high.
105.10 meters. What does part C ask? Determine the time at which the stone will hit the ground.
So you gotta find
So here's where it hits the ground, right?
x-axis.
We're wanting to find the t value when the y value is 0. So we're going to let y, or the h, equal 0. This should have been h, sorry. So for C, we're going to let h be 0, and we're going to go solve negative 4.9 t squared plus 10t plus 100. Aren't you finding the x-intercept there? You let the y value be 0. How do you find x-intercepts? With that wonderful song? You agree? I'm not singing it. You had t equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Go plug those values in. I have a is negative 4.9, b is 10, c is 100. I have negative 10 plus or minus square root 100 minus 4 times negative 4.9 times 100 all over 2 times negative 4.9.
Should B be 10? You put 100.
10
Oh,
squared.
square root of it. That's right.
Square root of b squared minus 4ac.
That's
Okay, I'm going to show you a trick. That's kind of complicated to plug in on your calculator, right? So, on your calculator, I'm going to go do what was A? Negative 4.9. Store that as A. Try this again. Negative 4.9. Store alpha A. Enter. What was B? 10. 10. Store alpha B. Enter.
Store it, then use it.
100. Store alpha C. Enter. Now you just need to type in the quadratic formula. What is it? Negative B. I'm going to do plus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, close your parentheses, that's the numerator, all over 2a. What's the other one? It's the same thing except you have a
Negative.
minus right there. Negative b minus. So your two x-intercepts, negative 3.61 and 5.65. So I get negative 3.61 and 5.65. So to go from here to here, type it in on your calculator. Store A, B, and C, and just type in the quadratic formula. Now, does a negative time make sense? No. In our problem, we have 5.65 seconds. That's how long it took it to reach the ground. This is at 5.65 seconds. Now, do you see that the negative one would be over here? But we don't care about that. Yeah. All right, that's one problem.